everyone, welcome back. My name is Morgan, this is my channel Pisces Paperbacks, and today I'm going to be unhauling some books. When I moved to Philly, I did get rid of some books in my collection, but I wasn't making videos at the time, and it wasn't like an unhaul, so I didn't keep track of the books I got rid of. I don't remember what they were. But I recently discovered there is a little free library in the park very close to where I live, and I want to bring some books over there. I feel like when I look in little libraries like that, they always are just like religious books and diet books. I feel like that's always what's the only things there, and I'm trying to like spice it up. I'm trying to make it a little more interesting. So I have 10 books here that I want to unhaul, only 9 of which I'm going to bring over there. I'm going to start off. There's one book here that I don't want to read. It's the only one here that I haven't read, and I don't want anybody else to read it too, so I'm actually just going to be figuring out how to dispose of this book. If you hear a timer go off, I actually already filmed this video and I talked for way too long, so I've decided to like set a limit for how long I can talk about each book. If you hear a timer, just ignore it. So the first book I want to get rid of, the only one I haven't read, is No Other Man by Shannon. This is a historical romance novel from like 1995. It has a beautiful step back, but even in the description, it says it's the romance between a white woman, Lady Douglas, and the handsome half-breed son of a Sioux woman and an English lord. So that tells me everything I need to know. I got this in like a mystery romance box, just like various random ass markets. I'm not going to read this. I don't want anybody else to read this. The only other romance on here, because I didn't really look too hard in my romance shelf, is At the Duke's Pleasure by Tracy and Warren. If you've watched my recent videos, this is one of my worst of last year, and I don't want to keep it, so I'm going to bring it over. I'm sure a mom somewhere will like it. It's not, like, I didn't like it, but, like, I'm sure someone out there could. It's a historical romance between a duke and a woman that he's been betrothed to since they were both very young children. She's, like, committed to annoying him out of the betrothal, but they fall in love instead. Next, I have 3 books that I read like as a kid that I want to donate because I have kept them for years, upwards of 10 years for all 3 of them, and I haven't reread them. I don't see myself rereading them, and they're not books that I like pull out to recommend to people, so I don't need to keep them. I'm sure someone out there will love them. First, I have Life of Pi by Yann Martel. This is about a, I think, 16-year-old Indian boy, and when his family is emigrating to America on like a boat, the boat is capsized and he is stuck on a canoe drifting across the Atlantic Ocean, trapped with a tiger. I read this when I was like in like 7th grade and I loved it. I adored it. It like blew my mind, but I haven't read it since. I saw the movie when it came out and it was like fine. I don't think that it would have the same impact on me if I read it again, and so I think it's time to let it go and like let it be out there in the world, changing other people's lives. This is another one that I really loved when I was a young kid, and that is Birdwing by Raf Martin. I've literally never heard anyone talk about this. It is such a cool story. It's based on like the folk tale about those brothers that get turned into birds, and then their sister has to like, I think, knit them sweaters after like a vow of silence to turn them back into boys. And it's about the youngest of the boys whose sweater wasn't complete, and so he still has like one bird wing, so he still like feels this connection, this draw to magic that the rest of his family doesn't have, and so he strikes out on his own and interacts with a lot of these other really cool folk tales that I had never heard of before. I thought it was beautiful, and it's just, it was really interesting, but I haven't read it again. I haven't read it again, and I'm not planning to, and I think someone else could love it. This next one really hurts because I loved this book, but I haven't read it since I was like in 5th grade, and that is Dragonsdale by Salamanda Drake. Look at the cover of this book. It unfolds so that you see the whole fucking dragon. Is that not the coolest thing you've ever seen? It's about a stable of dragon riders. It was so cool, but I know a little girl out there is gonna love this, and I just have to let them love it. You know what I mean? There's a little girl out there who's going to adore this, or a little anybody, but I'm imagining a little me. So I think it's time to let this one go, even though I love it so much. I got it at like a Scholastic book fair in the library at my school when I was like in 5th grade, so lots of fun memories. Next I have Americanah by Chimamanda and Ngozi Adichie. I read this for a book club a few years ago. It was not my pick. and I didn't love this. I thought it was fine. It's a contemporary about an African boy and an African girl who fall in love as teenagers, but their lives like divert when she is accepted into American university and he is not. So it's just about their lives, their young adulthoods. It's about her experience with race in America and what blackness is in America versus how it doesn't exist in Africa. So it was interesting, but I'm not going to read it again, and I don't care to, and I think someone else would be interested in this. Next, I have Serpent and Dove by Shelby Mahurin. I read this a few years ago, and I thought it was fun. I think I gave it like 4 stars, but I didn't like it enough to continue in the series, and I've actually heard the next few in the series are not that good. So this is a fantasy about a witch and a witch hunter who, through a series of events, are kind of backed into a corner and forced to get married. So it was interesting. I liked this, but I'm not gonna read it again, and I don't like recommend it to people. Not that I don't recommend it to people, but like if I'm making like a list of recommendations, this isn't one that I like pull out, you know? And I have 3 horror novels that I'm going to be bringing out to the little library, but fear not, I do plan on putting sticky notes on like the front and the back to make sure that no child is accidentally picking up a book that's gonna like scar them for life. Especially with this first one, Tender is the Flesh by Augustina Bazterrica. This is a literary horror novel about cannibalism and the world after animal meat has been pronounced toxic. So they kind of move into like the human cattle kind of area. I didn't love this. I read it last year. I think I gave it 3 stars. It made me think, but like I'm not gonna read this again, and I didn't enjoy it enough to put it on a list of horror recommendations. So I am going to let this go. Again, I will be putting sticky notes on as warning, like right in the middle. Cannibalism. So yeah. Next I have Night of the Mannequins by Stephen Graham Jones. This is a very short horror novella about a mannequin that comes to life and starts slasher killing this group of friends, kind of. I did not like this book. It made me extremely anxious and extremely upset. I got it. I got what it was trying to do, but I didn't like it, and it was to the point where I couldn't appreciate like the craft because it just made me sad. This is kind of sad to get rid of though, because I got it secondhand and it has like a signed, what's it called, like a book plate. It's a signed book plate right there with his signature on it. And I really like Stephen Graham Jones. I think I've only read 2 of his books. This was 1 star, the other one was 5 stars, so I don't know. And lastly, I have The Return by Rachel Harrison. This is a adult horror novel about a group of friends, and one of them goes missing and returns like 6 months later, but she's different. She's not right. And is it her? And it kind of comes to a head on this like girls trip that they go on. I thought this was fun. I haven't thought about it in the years since I read it. It's kind of sad to get rid of because I think I pre-ordered this because I liked the cover so much. It's pink. But this isn't a book that I liked enough to put on recommendation lists. I still plan on reading Rachel Harrison's other 2 books, like other 2 horror books, Cackle, and I think the one that came out this year was Such Sharp Teeth, but like I don't need to own them. I can get them from the library. Hopefully I took video of bringing all of these books to the Little Free Library. If I did, I will insert that here. Hello, I filmed my unhaul a couple hours ago, and now I have my bag of books, taking Marcy, and we're on our way to the park. See? I don't know why I thought there would be less people here, but there were like several pairs of parents sitting at the table like right there with like 4 different strollers. It's literally like noon on a Sunday. Of course it would be busy in like the children's section of a park. So I didn't really take that good of a video. Okay, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you've read any of these books. If I shouldn't have gotten rid of them, let me know. Maybe I can get it back before someone else takes it from the little library, but I'm really happy with my decisions here. I hope other people will enjoy these books more than I did. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I will see you guys next time. Bye!